Next Level Mindset bringing you another powerful and positive video. I want to empower your journey and give you 7 clear signs you're on the right path. Things I've identified in my life. And if you stay with me all the way through till the end, I've got some bonus insights how to know we're spiritually strong. You do not want to miss this. By the fact that you're watching this video, this is your confirmation. This is an early bonus point, something that may be wrong for others, may be just right for you. So keep that in mind. We'll get more into that as we go through these. So the first clear sign that you're on the right path, it is when you have a high level of self-confidence. You have an assurance that you know all is well. You have a self-confidence that goes on to a whole nother level, right? I like Tony Robbins. He calls it self-certainty. What I found in my life is that when you are on the right path, you have this certain sense of self-confidence that goes beyond what others really understand. They really don't know how it is that you can be so confident. I remember when I first started playing piano, I used to go up to the piano and I didn't have that assurance and there were doubts in my mind. But as I began to grow, there was a time when I felt more confident. And now when I'm at a piano, whenever I go to play a keyboard, it doesn't matter where it's at. I have a certain level of confidence. I know that if you can sing it, I can play it, right? There's a certain level of confidence. So keep that in mind as you go through your regular day. That is a clear sign that you are on the right path. You have a level of confidence about what you do. And what I found is that this confidence is not just about how you carry yourself. It radiates in your actions. It shows up in your decisions, the people you hang around with, the energy that you carry, the feelings that you choose to think about, right? The thoughts that you choose to meditate on. This self-confidence goes beyond your regular everyday life and it radiates to everyone around you. This level of confidence, it shows up in how you walk. It shows up in how you stride from one moment to the next moment. It shows up in your look on your face, the captivating energy and aura that you carry. I can think back in my life when there were times when I didn't have this confidence. I was in a state of depression, in a state of discouragement. I had made some decisions along my life, along my journey that did not pan out for the best. Didn't have that confidence. So consider that in your own life. Are there areas where you have an unshakable, undoubtable confidence in what you do, the places that you go, the business that you have? Maybe you're running a business, or maybe you have a family that you're taking care of. You have confidence that no one can understand. That is a clear sign you're on the right path. Also, it's important to keep in mind that this self-confidence is not about being boastful. It's not about being in a bragging mentality, right? It's really about just having the self-assurance that you know that all is well. You've been places in your life. You've been there and you've done that. You know that all is going to work out for your highest good. We'll talk more about that coming up in a minute. But you have a certain level of self-confidence, not in a bragging type, but in a divine sense. You know that all is well. So I want to inspire you and encourage you. That sense of self-certainty, every step you take, every move you make, that there's a sense of confidence knowing that whatever life journey brings your way, you can handle it with confidence. You can handle it with an unshakable self-certainty. Self-certainty is where it's at. And where there used to be self-doubt in your life, now you have self-certainty. That is a clear sign you're on the right path. And the second sign, the next clear sign that you are on the right path, it is when you have a thankful heart. You have gratitude. You appreciate everything that happens in your life. I can think back on times in my life when I used to complain a lot about other things. You feel that you're free of those complaints. You have a sense of thankfulness and even the small things you're grateful for. And as you go through life and as you continue to elevate your life, you'll find that complaints start to fall away. Those grudges start to fall away, right? You don't complain as much. I have to catch myself every now and then when I'm going through something, when complaints try to come inside of my mind. And I have to remind myself, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay thankful because I remember where I used to be. And when you can remember the pain that you've gone through, I like to say after hell has done its worst, I'll still be at my best. And when you can remember the doubts that you used to have, when you can remember those downfalls that you used to have, when you can remember where you used to be, you can be thankful for where you are right now. It's time for gratitude. Think about everything that you go through. Be thankful, because there's somebody who's going through something worse, who wish they had your problems just so that it can experience your blessings. And so in my life, I find myself being thankful for the sunshine as well as the rain, thankful for the healing power as well as the pain. I thank God for the good times and those so-called bad times. I'm thankful now for everything in my life. Opportunities come in your life where the universe will test you. God will put you through challenges just to see how you're going to respond. And when you're able to respond with gratitude and a thankful heart, that is a clear sign you're on the right path. You may be watching this right now, going through a challenge. You find yourself free of those complaints. You're thankful and grateful. And so what I've learned along my journey is that I have to catch myself in those times when I would complain. I just say, you know what? I have my good days, and my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. Empower yourself. Be encouraged by that, and know that you have a choice. We can always choose how we're going to respond. And what I found in my life along my journey is that I can respond with an attitude, or I can respond with gratitude. And gratitude always increases my altitude, taking me to that next level. And if you're part of the family, you already know that's how we like to do it to get it done. Next level mindset in everything that we do. And the third sign, the next clear sign you're on the right path. It is when you find great value in everything that you experience. No matter what you go through in your life, you find the value in what you experience. Even your setbacks, you see how your setbacks can benefit you for a setup. Your breakdowns can benefit you for a breakthrough. Took me a while in my life to realize that those things that I didn't see as meaningful in my life, those things that used to be meaningless, now they become meaningful. I find the higher meaning in them. I find the higher value. And so consider that. Keep that in mind as you begin to go from one challenge to the next, from one experience to the next. When you're able to find value in everything you experience, that is a great sign you're on the right path, doing exactly what you need to do. One of my affirmations says, I am always in the right place, doing and saying the right things to the right people, constantly placing myself in the right position to receive every blessing that God has for my life and every desire of my heart. And here's the thing to remember, every twist and turn has value when you're on the right path. Every setback in your life, every dark night of your life has value when you're on the right path. And so when you can appreciate the dark as well as the light, you find value in those challenges that you go through. That is a clear sign that you're on the right path, exactly where you need to be at this particular time in your life. And the fourth clear sign, the next sign that you're on the right path, is when you're able to sleep at night, right? You find yourself well rested, having a good night's sleep, waking up ready to face whatever comes your way. There was a time in my life where I didn't sleep so well. And now looking back, I can see that it was only because I wasn't living the right life. I wasn't treating people how I really wanted to be treated. And one of our mottos here over on our next level is to just treat people how we want to be treated. Following that golden rule, doing unto others as we would have them to do unto us. That is what has made a big difference in my energy level. When we are well rested, we're able to conquer anything that comes our way. And if you ever experience times when you wake up and you feel like you just lay down, that might be a sign that certain things may need to change in your life. When you have that energy, you have that vibrance, you've rested well, you've dreamed well, you've even had an out-of-body experience maybe, right? That's a whole nother next level. If you could use that, but if not, lose that. But that is what works for me. Knowing that no matter what, you feel well rested, sleeping peacefully. That is a clear sign you're on the right path at the right time. And by the way, if this is your first time here or you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's stay empowered and inspired together on the path here. We'd love to have you here at Next Level. And the fifth clear sign, the next clear sign that you're on the right path, is when you're able to see purpose in everything that you do. You have a passion that you're able to follow. You see that your life has purpose. You have an amazing effect on everyone around you. You realize that you're here for something greater than yourself. And now looking back on my life, I realized that a lot of the pain that I went through, it was because God was preparing me to be a blessing to other people. It was preparing me that if God can bring me through that, He can bring others through the same thing. So no longer will you have to ask the question, which way is up? Which way should I go? You know that no matter what happens in your life has purpose. Your life has passion. And when you can find that your passion and your purpose is a blessing to those around you, that's a good sign. You're on the right path. And I know by the fact that you're watching this right now, think about a time when you was uncertain about your passion in life. You were uncertain about your goal and what you were here on this earth to do. Think about that. And now if you think back, you can see how it started to unfold. You begin to see the light at the end of that tunnel. You begin to see how those circumstances started shaping out to reach where you are right now. You had to go through it in order to get to it. Everything that you've gone through has a purpose for it. Here at Next Level, you don't believe in coincidences. You believe in divine providence. I look at everything as a divine providence. Everything in my life, I see that it happens exactly the way it's supposed to happen, and there's a higher meaning in it. And I have my days when I seem like I'm losing purpose, when I feel like, what is the use of it all? We all have those moments. But I want to empower you and encourage you. Take that time and remember, your life means so much to somebody around you. You'll never really know how important your life is to other people. And so when you have a sense of purpose, when you have a higher purpose, when you realize that your life is more than just what meets the eye, that's a great sign. You're on the right path, doing what you need to do in your life. And the sixth clear sign, the next clear sign that you're on the right path, it is when you have a willingness to forgive. You're able to forgive others for what they've done. You're able to forgive yourself for the wrong that you've done. You let things go. You don't hold on to grudges, right? You know how it is when you can hold on to something. A lot of times we think we forgive others to let them go. But what I found in my life is we forgive others to let ourselves go. We forgive others so that we can be free to go on to the other things, to go on to higher things. And it took me a while to realize that I was only hurting myself by holding on to grudges, holding on to certain pains. Many times people are not even aware of the pain that they caused. They was not even aware that they did certain things. Maybe they said a certain thing a certain way. They've moved on, and there I was carrying that weight around. So I want to inspire you. Let it go. That thing that somebody hurt you, that was exactly what you needed at that time. And the things that you've done to somebody else, that was exactly what you needed to experience in your life. The very thing that I thought was going to take me out, it was the perfect thing for me to experience at that time. And so what I found out in my life is that when you're able to forgive others and let those things go, that is a clear sign you're on the right path, doing what you need to do for your life. Maybe you're going through something that you can share with your team, share with your group. You can let them know that they may have done some things against you. You may have done some things against them, but we can let it go. There is so much power in being able to forgive. And when you're willing to forgive, let things go, move on and forgive yourself, even for the wrong you've done. That is a great sign. You're on the right path, doing things on a new level, in a new way, ready to face everything that comes your way. And the seventh clear sign, the next clear sign that you're on the right path, is when you sense that God is always with you. You have this certain level of confidence, like we talked about earlier. You know that God within you is right there guiding every decision that you make. Everything that you go through in your life, you feel a presence of a higher power. No matter whatever name you want to use, there is a higher power, God within us, that great I am, always with us, guiding us along the way. One of my affirmations says that even in the depth of dark places, I have no fear because I know that I am God is with me. And I like to say it just like that, to recognize my identity, my true and divine self being one with God. I am the essence of Almighty God. It's another affirmation. I am the essence of Almighty God, a glorious and most intelligent manifestation of this almighty and divine presence, and we are one. And when you are able to see that there is a power with you, even God himself right there with you in everything that you do, that is a great sign. That is a clear sign. You're on the right path. You have angels protecting you. You have a vision in your mindset, a guiding light, guiding you through every dark situation. I remember when I was growing up, I would always look up at the night sky and I would see angels in my own way, right? Stars twinkling in my own way, feeling that there is a presence. One of my affirmations says, I am dwelling in the secret place of the Most High, resting and abiding under the shadow of this almighty presence. When you know that you're never alone, you may be on your own, but you're never alone. And I like to say, even when you feel like you're alone, you never have to be lonely. There's a difference between the two. Took me a while to realize that. But when you feel that you're never alone, that's when you know you're on the right path. God within us, that great I am, always with us, guiding us from one step to the next. I remember when I was going through addictions, when I was going through homelessness, making decisions that were not for my best interest, doing things to other people that I wouldn't want them to do to me. I remember during those times, I felt all alone. Nobody wanted to be bothered with me. I was counted out and left all alone, but I remember God was still there. So consider that and think about that in your life. Even when you're going through times when no one wants to be bothered, there is God. And when you can look back over your life and see the things that you've gone through, and you can have a strong sense of a connection with God's spirituality, when you realize that you're never alone and that God is always there, that is a clear sign. You're on the right path, doing what you know you need to do, in the right place at the right time, experiencing everything that you need to experience for right now. Maybe you're watching this right now and you're going through one of those dark nights of the soul and you feel that no one else is there. You can look within your heart and know that God is always there. There is a spiritual connection. There is a oneness there. You feel that purpose. You have that self-confidence. You know you're thankful for everything that's happening in your life. So when you know that God is there, when you know that the universe is on your side, your angels surrounding and protecting you, when you have a sense that you're never alone, that is a clear sign, that is a powerful sign that you're on the right path in this life. Now, before I share these bonus insights in this PowerPoint with you, I just want to share this with you. Just want to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes. One of my songs, Without You, is going to be on my upcoming album entitled Satisfied. I'm not even supposed to be talking about it. And you already know about my brand new single that's out right now. It's called Nobody. Playing everywhere your music is streamed. Put that on your favorite Spotify playlist. Grab a copy from the Amazon site. Do that with the links in the description. If you've enjoyed this so far and it's giving you value, do me a favor and hit that like button. The algorithm signal will let other people know this video. It'll let them know it's definitely worth watching if you hit the like button. Thank you. So keep this in mind. There was a detour. I want to share this with you. I was coming home the other day, right before I was preparing for this video. There was a detour, but I noticed that the detour was taking me away from my home. And I said to myself, there's no way that this detour is for me. I've got to go this way. It was the only way that I can get to where I was going. And I noticed a little deeper when I looked at it. I noticed a sign on the detour. It says, no through traffic. That was the key phrase. That was the key word, right? No through traffic. But I wasn't going through. I was only going to. So I took the turn, went on down that way, and I noticed right before my turn, going into my complex where I live, that's where the detour ended. So that's a clear sign. Let that be a reminder. Something that is a detour for someone else may not necessarily apply to you. Something that may be limiting to others may not necessarily be limiting to you. You don't have to follow every rule. You may not have to follow all of the rules that other people are following. Other people had to go another way. But for me, it just didn't apply. So keep that in mind as you follow your path, as you identify these signs along your journey. There are going to be detours. But what's a detour for one person could be the right tour just for you. And one thing that I noticed One thing I noticed along my journey identifying these signs, being on the right path, what about my spiritual life? How do I know I'm spiritually connected? I want to share this video with you right here, coming up on the screen, signs of a strong spiritual connection. I think that would be a great video for you to watch next. So check that out and enjoy that. Thanks again to my subscribers and returning viewers, my fan funders, those of you who fund the channel with your income. You keep the lights on here at Next Level. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, share this on your way out, subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Stay blessed, stay positive, and remember that there's nothing that needs to be done that together we cannot do. I'll see you on the next level. Peace.